Dr. Gilda Carl. Dr. Gilda, I can't believe we're almost halfway through January, which is crazy.
No,
But what
no, we're not. Wait a minute. Wait. What is today's date? No, don't
today's
tell
the 13th. Yes, go ahead. Go.
me. You shouldn't say that on these supposedly
Because we're
evergreen.
talking about evergreens, the news, and I'll cut all that off. But go ahead. What's the
Okay.
topic today?
This is a beauty. Denmark. Do you know about the country?
Yes.
Well, since 1993, kids from 6 to 16 are mandated to take empathy classes.
Okay.
And they've been doing this since 1993.
Mm-hmm.
And now the results have come in. They have the world's lowest bullying rates
Mm.
and the world's highest kindness scores. These kids are taught not to be the best in the world, but to make the world the best. Do you know what a difference that makes when kids are looking out for their neighbors and trying to help each other and how kind they can be to one another? We wouldn't have any of these idiotic wars. We
None.
wouldn't have these shootings and people screaming and yelling and carrying on if they were not so deprived of feeling ego satisfied. This puts the other person first and lets you extend yourself to the other person. And I studied bullying. I was doing anti-bullying programs. And some of the anti-bullying programs before I entered any anti-bullying programs myself, they were studied and they found that these beautiful, expensive anti-bullying programs that the schools paid fortunes for, they made kids worse because they showed, oh, look what Terry does. She pushes this one and that one. And then the kids learned from the videos to push each other and they copied that disgusting behavior. The anti bullying programs were horrendous, they did not work. But now, instead, to teach kindness, to teach empathy. How do you think this other person feels? If you were in that person's shoes, what would you feel? Put yourself in that person's situation. And it has been glorious. But imagine the world's lowest bullying rates. That's pretty impressive. So all we have to do, look, all we have to do is teach reading, writing, arithmetic, the three R's. But what did I tell you? There are two additional R's that we have to be teaching: respect and relationships. And that's what our school systems lack so deeply. And I've been saying this, there aren't three R's, there are five R's. You cannot teach all of this content without teaching how to apply it in a kind, generous, and empathic way. So I was fascinated with Denmark's findings. And they've been doing this for quite a while, 1993, and they've been this successful. By now, they would have seen holes in their objectives, but there are none. So I'm very impressed, and I am telling everybody out there who is listening, please, if your school isn't teaching your kids empathy, then you as parents ought to do that. Put yourself into somebody else's shoes. How does that feel? And for once, it's okay for kids to talk about their feelings and their fears because no one's going to topple them for that. It's a beautiful thing. And I've been saying this for years, and now finally, my dream has come true in this study, in the results of this study.
It's very interesting when you talk empathy and define empathy for people, because a lot of times a lot of people have never been empathetic in their lives.
Well, empathy is just as I said, putting yourself into somebody else's shoes, feeling their feelings, or trying as much as you can to feel their feelings. Once you identified with how somebody else feels, maybe you won't be so quick to punch them and shove them and call them names and make fun of them if they're wearing glasses, if they have very short hair, or if they have very long hair, or if they have clothes that are not perfect. And you know what? We not too long ago we talked about those mommies, those mean mommies. Maybe they ought to take a class in empathy.
How do we teach men empathy? Some men.
I think that's a very good question because generally speaking, if I were to say to a man on the street, how would you like to learn empathy? He'd say, what? That's a girly thing. I'm not interested in that, right? And
Yes.
that's why you asked it, didn't you? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, well, you don't have to call it empathy. You can call it anything you want. But when you say to a man, "Oh, how is Joe doing? I know he's just got divorced. How is he doing?" And you know that Joe tends to find another girl as soon as possible and to go out drinking with his boys and to bury his emotions. This is what guys do. But instead, if you were to say, wow, I was in your shoes once, and these are the kinds of things that I felt. Do you identify with some of those things? How are you feeling? And share how you felt
Right.
when you were at your lowest. Men never do that. A woman will go over to a woman and go, ah, cry, 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 and feel sorry for herself and let it all hang out because women can do that if they'll trust the woman. I don't know today how many women trust women because, you could go cry on somebody's shoulder and then you turn around, she'll stab you in the
And
back.
see, I honestly believe it's the basic art imitates life. If you would watch the television shows that are out there now, that you watch all these things, it's all about drama, it's all about pain, it's all about suffering because we want conflict, and there really is no happy ever end afters like there used to be on television, and that in itself is art imitating life.
Well, if you were to ask Kevin Sorbo, who we interviewed
Yeah, they're
here,
trying to do it with some of the Christian films that they're
the
building
Christian
out.
films are much more successful in getting these points across than are the non-Christian films. And I think the non-Christian films, the secular films, ought to take a page from some of the Christian media because they've mastered that pretty well.
Exactly. And so they want, but again, it's a goal of society, especially the sponsors, for people to feel crappy about themselves. So they go buy.
Right. Well, now, if you feel crappy, look at the advertisements for pharmaceuticals. If you feel real terrible about this or this, take this pill, this liquid, this drink,
All of
this
it.
whatever, all of the above. Take these things and you will be instantly cured. Well, good luck to that.
All right. Well, we can go to drgilda.com for more information and check her out. And we'll talk tomorrow, Dr. Gilda. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Hayes Show on the